And we're back. Thanks again for joining me for another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. I know you guys have missed me. I've missed you. It's been a while, and a lot has happened since I've last done a tutorial. And the reason being is because I had a computer crash, a hard drive crash, and a tablet malfunction that all needed to be repaired. But I am back, and I am ready to start developing videos for you guys. So I've noticed that one of the most popular segments that I do is the how to draw tutorials. I originally did an older how to draw, and then I did an HD version so that you'd have higher quality videos. This time I'm doing a HD version, and this is just going to be a second set, and we're going to focus a little more into some of the details of development. I'm going to try and actually speed these up, but also give you more details at the same time. So how we're going to start in all of our tutorials that revolve around drawing, I'm trying to embed inside you that you need to start with the basics. Some of the basics are thumbnails, and then getting your sketches, and then tightening your sketch into solid line work that you can then bring into Adobe Illustrator. So I tend to not actually use pen and paper, pencil and paper anymore. I tried to go green. So what I use a program called Sketchbook. Now there are plenty of other programs you can use. You can use Photoshop, you can use Corel Draw, Corel Paint, you can use Sketchbook. You can also use Illustrator. I choose to use Sketchbook because I like the fluidity of it. There's also Manga Studio or Manga Studio. There are several applications. Just search for some if you want to get familiar with it, or if you're just tried and true traditional, then stick with the pencil and the paper, and then you can scan your stuff in and then bring it into Adobe Illustrator. So who we're going to be working on, if you are not familiar with the character on the screen, is Frieza from the Dragon Ball Z series. Now, I created this sketch. This was a quick sketch I did when the new movie was announced, the Resurrection of F. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, I started to develop a sketch, and I want to utilize this sketch to actually show you guys how you can bring this into Adobe Illustrator, and then you can start to develop your actual artwork. The first thing we need to do, again, is we work on sketches. So, let's in mine, I'm going to create a new layer. I'm actually just going to hide this. I'm not going to explain this program because it's irrelevant. You can use it in any program that you have and or that you're familiar with, and or you can utilize your pencil and paper. But you could start, like if you're looking for, let's say, various head shapes, positioning, whatever the case may be, if you want side profiles, however you're going to set up the image. Now, I'm doing more of a portrait image, more of a face on, just because I like his scowl and how he looks. But basically, what it is you got to get familiar with the body and the anatomy. Let's say you wanted something that's just like reaching forward, or, anything. You got to learn foreshortening, and so many other aspects of actual anatomy. I'm just quickly just drawing bubbles and circles to give you an idea of, something you could do if you were really interested in sketching. Now, these I would develop into, let's say, thumbnails. And again, I'm trying to speed this up for you guys, but depending upon the orientation of the piece that I'm doing, I would set it a certain way. I may shift the bounding box or my artboard area. Now, the way my piece is set up now, I already have this surrounding area as my artboard. So within that, I usually would just set where I'm going to want my elements to be. If I'm using some form of grid, like some people like the this type of a grid where you are working within your 9 segmented box, and then the cross sections are the areas of interest. So you would put a focal point at these cross sections or in between, just to align it and give it a better feeling. There are also other ways to do it with like the uh, Fibonacci spiral, which I won't even begin to go into. But there are so many things that you want to work on, and this is the point in the process where you develop the layout as well as your thumbnails. Your thumbnails, when you're doing that, it's basically to give you an idea of where your subject matter is going to go and its relative positioning to the actual artboard itself. Okay, so that's what you want to get started on. So figure out what your subject matter is going to be. If it's fan art, if it's some personal art, whatever the case may be. And then take some time, draw about 5 to 10 thumbnails and do different poses, different positions, things that are engaging that you feel would grab the viewer's attention. And do some research. You can look online, look up comic art, manga art, Western, Eastern, any type of artwork, and look at how people juxtapose really good artwork, the artwork that attracts you. And then figure out how you would lay yours out for the subject matter that you're doing. And once you've done that, in our next video, we'll discuss tightening up the actual line sketch. So again, I thank you guys for joining me. If you guys want to follow any of my work, you can catch me online on Instagram at The One Will Focus, like, you know, the Matrix movie, The One. So The One Will Focus. And my new website is theonewillfocus.com. So if you have any questions and you want to contact me, feel free. If you're looking at for specific videos, you can email me at theonewillfocus.com. Okay? Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.